All right. Welcome back to Missing the Homies, featuring my co host today. Uh, do you have any words, Sweaty? None, but that's fine. Welcome back to Missing the Homies. This is the show where I bullshit with my homies. Um, welcome back, Bill. Welcome back, anybody else who has been following along. Or if you're just tuned in, welcome. This is a show where I bullshit and then I talk. Try my damnedest to get my cat in. Oh, he's purring. Let me see if I can get him. Damn it. Well, anyways, I'm gonna let my guest slash co-host in, and we'll run the intro. Hello. Is it supposed to be pitch black on your side? Oh, okay. So that means something special is gonna happen. At least I hope. Where's he at? Oh, he got the mood lighting.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you
Can you
for.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
what are you drinking? Because I waited to crack mine. I finally got my bubbly back in, but I figured you'd be on some beer. So
Oh boy, what do we got?
Sheboygan Brewing, Blackberry Blonde Ale. Shout out Kiernan for leaving
Sure.
this extra shit when he came.
Well, that's Shaboy.
Oh, all right. Well, with that, I gotta crack it.
Cheers. Um, we are
Cheers, toast.
cheers.
Yeah. So tell me what's up with the setup.
Um, Same room as always, just a black background. One light directly to my side, and eh.
I think the only thing you really need is a front light, which if you'll peep my screen. Oh, you walked away, but I I put a little front facing light. Front, honestly,
Wait, hold on. One second. There we go. A little bit of that, a little bit of that.
oh, there you go.
So it's a little bit better.
See,
Um,
see, you have it more here, side of your face. You need it about like 45 degrees.
nah,
But that's if you want to do one light. Who cares? Doesn't matter.
hold on.
But I'm really excited with my setup right now. I feel like it's been a long time since I've sat down at the desk to record, and uh, part of the oh yeah, see that's it, that's
There we
it.
go.
Yeah,
Cheers.
yeah. See, you got that little bit on your nose right there. Ooh, dog, that's looking good.
Yeah, no, we we out here, as they used to say.
As the youths say,
Mm-hmm.
we out here, dude. I've never felt more old than I have this past weekend working on this musical with the middle schoolers.
Oh, it went live, huh?
Yeah, so Friday was the first show. Dude, it was a shit show.
Wait, how much is the admission?
I don't know how much tickets were because the only person I invited was Renee, and she was like, dude, I was so frazzled this entire week. So, look, I had one show on Friday, two shows on Saturday, and then one show on Sunday.
Mhm.
So, packed weekend.
Right.
But so I was so frazzled, and Renee was like, "Oh yeah, I want to come see the show on Friday." So when she got there, I like met her at the front door and just walked in, and one of the directors was like, "Hey, are you guys going to see the show?" And I like full on heard her, but did not acknowledge, and I was just like, "Come on, just come on. I'll show you where the stage is." And she like followed us all the way down the stairs and was like, "Are you guys trying to go to the show?" And I like turned around. I was like, "Taylor, I'm working. And she's like, oh, okay, well, like, what about her? I was like, this is my, and I like literally, like, my brain was so fried. I couldn't even say that this was my girlfriend. And she's like, this is my boyfriend. And she's like,
It'd
oh,
be,
okay. She's like, yeah, you guys are good. Just go. And I was like,
it'd be like, those my Johnny.
Johnny. But yeah, so it was an absolute shit show.
Okay.
But it was
Like,
fun.
what was the worst part of it?
So the worst part of the whole thing or just this past weekend?
Just like of the show.
So I think the worst part of the actual show was that so our first show started on Friday. On Thursday, we got an email from one of the parents that was like, "Hey, my daughter is definitely not feeling good. Like, don't know if she's going to be able to perform this weekend." And she was the second character or the third character that was introduced and like is a main character through the whole thing. So it's like,
Mhm.
fuck, that's horrible. So she's like,
You don't
yeah,
you don't come back from that.
yeah. So that's what we started on. So I'm like, oh, fuck, I was like, we're already fucked.
Right.
But so Friday we go into it and she comes in 2 hours before the show. She's got a mask on and her voice is like, "Ah, hey guys." And I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, she sounds
Wait,
horrible. And
how old are these kids?
so the youngest was 10 and the oldest was probably like 4, I want to say like 13, 14.
So when you got like Smoker's voice going on, it's probably pretty serious.
It was bad. Like this girl probably had strep throat, but her parents were like, we took her to the urgent care. We got her tested for COVID. It's nothing. She's just sick. So
It's showtime, baby.
I'm like, oh fuck. Well, what do we do? And so
Right.
I'm already nervous. This is my first run, and then this happens. So she winds up going on the first night. She like
Mhm.
powers through, and she had a horrible time. Like horrible time. So then Tuesday or Saturday, we're like, okay, well, how are you feeling? And she's like, well, not good enough to sing, but I'll be a body. So she literally went up with her mask, and our co-director was in the wings with a mic on, reading her lines and singing her songs, and it was so fucking funny. It was so funny. And
Right.
then after Saturday, her parents emailed us again and were like, okay, so being on stage ruined her. So she can't even perform. So this is like right before our last show. I'm like hanging out in my living room, like eating cereal, getting ready to go. And I
Mhm.
get a call get a call from the co-director that's like, yeah, she's fully out today. And I'm like, okay, so what do we do? What happens? Like, what does that mean? Do like we
Here's
don't have
your
any extra
outfit. Get on stage.
yeah, I'm like, well, we don't have any extra kids. There's no understudy. Like, so I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So what happened
Mhm.
was literally the entire 2 hours leading up to the show, we're like trying to figure it out. I gotta show the the co-director. Shout out Sarah Joy. I don't think she'll watch this, but
I
Sarah
don't
Joy.
even know who you are, but shout out to
So
you.
Sarah Joy absolutely killed it and dressed up this vacuum, this vacuum cleaner as the character. So this picture was taken at 2:11 and
Oh,
our show started at 3 p.m. So we didn't know. So literally the kids are screaming.
yeah.
I'm trying to stay cool, but I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm like, maybe they just canceled this bitch. I'm like, it's the
Right.
last show. We can't do that. Whatever. So
What
Sarah
are the
Joy wound up.
seniors like? Are the senior citizens gonna be upset?
Yeah, and I was like, it's like Sunday at 3 o'clock. Who's really like the parents whose kids it is have probably already seen it like a couple of times by now. But so
Mhm.
this is what we wound up doing. So That's the co-director. She put a pumpkin head on and went out, was mic'd up, and was performing, and it was the funniest shit. And funny enough, I think that was like our smoothest show, but it was just like the kids didn't know us. The kids were laughing.
Right.
The audience was laughing. I was laughing. She was like, it was so funny. So
Job well done. Awesome.
So I made it through.
Well, how was your part though? The audio turned out okay?
Dude, bad. It was like in the end it was good, but it was
This is what you get for hiring a professional.
right. Well, it was a shit show because so our show started on Friday. So our tech week was the week before. And they didn't get me mics. So we practiced. Our first show was on this past Friday, and our first day of tech week was the Saturday before.
Right.
So I didn't get all of the microphones with batteries until Tuesday. So I had from Tuesday to Thursday to figure out the frequencies for 10 mics and get them on 10 kids who already were practicing up until the last day, didn't want to stand still to put these mics on, were like screaming when I did have them. And not that it was like, it was like a little bit of a janky setup. It was two of those speakers that you have for, that you use for trivia.
Oh, they're just like the PA.
Yeah, just like they're like two PA speakers.
Okay.
So those were hooked up to a mixing board, and in the board was 10 mic packs, but they weren't like high, like wideband frequencies. They were like basically like just a little bit better than this.
Yep, I gotcha.
So it's like,
so wait, what were you practicing with ahead of getting the microphones?
nothing. I was literally just sitting there waiting, and the lights weren't set, and so I thought I was supposed to.
Were you driving the lighting too?
So all the way up until Thursday, I was expected to run the lights, run the boards for all 10 mics, and then run all the sound and music cues because it was a musical.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sitting there literally fucking shitting my pants because I'm like, dude, this is like, I can run an audio board. I have no doubt in my mind about that. But I don't that's with extensively testing the frequencies and because if I was doing it right, I would have wanted to put every kid on the stage, kind of run through the show and make sure, because if I just had those 10 and I had a week to practice, I could make sure that the frequencies didn't overlap and make do. But I didn't have that time. So I literally was like, okay, I got 10 mics, I got 10 kids, I'm going to just put them on. And if I turn the level up and it blows out the speaker, I gotta swap kids around. So I was it wasn't, so it was a shit show, but it was kind of expected.
Also, I feel like that's the kind of time where just you don't think about it until you're there, but you're like, what if a battery goes dead?
Dude, so I'm thinking of all of these things, but everybody just keeps asking me, they're like, well, how come the mics aren't working? How come the mics aren't working? I'm like, I could give you the long answer, or you guys could shut the fuck up and let me figure it out, because we don't have time for me to give you a whole lesson in audio. And then at the end of one of the nights, the director was like, well, I think it's, I just don't understand what you were doing. You had the mics, and how come we couldn't run through a rehearsal with them? And I literally was just like, do you want me to give you the long answer, or do you want me to just
do you want results?
Yeah,
do you want pictures of Spider-Man yesterday?
I want pictures of Spider-Man on my desk by 9 a.m. sharp. But so all in all, it was super. It was It was a beautiful mess. It
Mm.
was crazy. I spent 3 days like locked in this church gymnasium. No, what do they call it? A gymatorium. In a
Janitorial.
Yeah, like did you ever have one of those at school? They had one at
Uh,
Cabrini where
where
it's
it's just
like
like the gym, but it has like the stage off the side.
yeah.
I think like back in my elementary school, it did.
Yeah, so they had that at
Yeah.
my elementary school and my high school. They were double dipping.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Going to a high school next to a cornfield in central Ohio, we had a nice fucking theater.
Really?
It was actually kind of nice. It had like so it was kind of like they had like the lower bowl of seating, and then they
Mm.
had like a raised area with additional seating. They had like the whole soundboard room up in the back that can like overlook the whole thing. They had the
Ooh.
catwalks up above for lighting and all that stuff. Like it was actually kind of
What?
it wasn't super big,
Yeah.
but it
But it
was
had
well
all it had everything it needed.
it was well equipped for yeah. I mean, shoot, how many people were in this school? I think it was like 500-600 people max.
Oh yeah, no. See, my high school had max of like 200 people.
Mm,
Yeah, like my
okay.
graduating class was the biggest, and no way it could have been 200 people, because my graduating class was the biggest, and we had like 100 something.
Mm, okay.
But like I went to a small school, but yeah, so it was fucking crazy, but it was fun. It was
Mm,
one of the main the little girl who was the main character.
mm,
She gave me this note after our last day of tech, and it was like, thank you so much for taking care of the microphones. I was really nervous about it, but thank you for all of the work you did, and you wore really cool shirts. And I was just like, oh my god,
mm.
I understand the appeal of teachers now. I was like, not that I would want to do it, but
Right.
I get it.
That's
um
cool.
so yeah,
That's cool.
it was a good time. It was a cool experience.
Mhm.
It's a fucking wild show. And the kids were roasting the shit out of it, and it was so funny.
I mean, that's kind of honestly half the fun. And like, oh shit, I feel like when I was in high school, like watching, you know, high school productions or middle school productions or whatever, like half of the fun was just making fun of it, at least
Yes.
from the audience's perspectives.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I know I went to one show with Renee, and all we did was sit in the audience, eat Olga Snackers, and talk shit. And it was just like, uh did
Right.
you ever do theater in high school?
Okay, so I had this weird situation where, as you can tell, I'm a man of many talents.
I that's why I like asking you. I knew it wasn't a yes or no. It's got to be
So basically, what it boiled down to, actually, maybe this is like the theme of my life. So, like, there were points in high school where, like, the theater director, like, like, what's the best way to put it? She saw potential in me, and she like pulled me aside at one point, and effectively asked me to just join in some capacity, right? Um, and I'm like, no. I just straight up told her no. I'm like, this is stupid.
no, no, I can't.
Also, I was also very annoying, so I don't think she liked me for that reason too. But like, I remember I was taking some BS class. It was like a history of rock and roll class. I think like every high school had one.
Sick.
Um,
Ours was called music
but
appreciation, I think.
there you go. So I mean, it was like a fun class. The teachers there, like the band director, they were cool. Um, but it was fun because I think like the 15 or 20 minutes before the class would start, we would just have complete control. Like 15 of us would just do whatever in the band room. So we just like pop on the piano or just on the drums or something and just like you know
Mhm.
mess around, play around. And I was just kind of, I don't know how to play piano. I was just kind of keying around. I have like,
You're playing chopsticks.
no, I was just kind of improvising some stuff. I kind of understand how it works and
Mhm.
the theory behind it and how the keys are arranged themselves, but I don't actually know how to play it.
Dude, that's why I love you
But
because you're just like you're like I don't know how to do something, but I understand it enough that I could figure it out. Oh
right,
god, that's so
yeah.
cool. That's a cool
I mean, if you're just familiar with music in general and how it's laid out and how you approach it, it's just a matter of practicing till you're physically comfortable with it. But
Oh.
then again, you know, I was just doing that. They pulled me aside again, and they asked me to join marching band because I guess they were in need of more players at the time.
Mhm.
So I said, "Sure, I'm interested. What instrument do you need covered?" And they hit me with the French horn, and I said, "Nah, get out of
You're
here."
like, "Nah, I need something cooler than that. Give
Right?
me a
I'm like,
bassoon.
put me on the percussion line or something like that.
I want to be
But
Nick Cannon."
I did join their jazz band though,
Oh, sick.
because so they had two levels of the jazz band. So it was kind of the shitty one and the good one,
JV and varsity.
right?
JV
Um,
jazz and varsity jazz.
so in lieu of me joining the marching band, which was honestly way more commitment than I was willing to do, I've also never really played a brass instrument. Again, conceptually, I know how to do it. I can make a sound, but I am not at all proficient with it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, it just sounds like a lot. But they were like, okay, well, the JV jazz band, we need to build out a rhythm section. We need a guitarist, and we know you play guitar. Can you fill in? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll go for that. Which was fun, except the drummer. So we had two drummers,
Yeah.
and they would like switch in and out, just playing different songs. And
Tag it.
one,
Tag me in. Tag me in. I'm tired.
right. So one of them was decent, and the other one, I I don't know why, but I don't know why he was playing the drums in the first place because it's
Yeah.
like he's never touched a kit in his life. Like he just could not keep time. Instead of like giving us a good old solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, he go. He would just get it backwards,
Oh
middle of the
no.
song, and you know we're like trying to do the jazz arrangements and stuff, and he'd come off like a little fill, completely backwards rhythm, and it just threw everybody off into chaos. So I'm just trying to keep things down on lock with the bassist next to me. It's just the stupidest. But it was also really weird because the music that they gave me to play, it was like all these weird, complicated jazz chords
Hmm.
that you basically needed like 10 fingers to play. This is, you know, like I've played guitar for a while. I'm reasonably confident at it, but these chords are just weird.
Yeah, I and you know what they say. That's jazz, baby. That's
Mm-hmm.
jazz.
So I said, I'm not, I'm not trying this. So I just simplified it and just went from there, and it was way better.
So I didn't know you played guitar. Obviously, I know you played the drums,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
and see if you'll follow my train of thought, we're slowly making our way towards the end of the month surprise.
I mean, we all know it's coming.
We all know. But so when did you? I guess when did you start playing guitar? Did you start guitar or drums first?
Guitar first. So I mean, like when I was a kid, I always wanted to play guitar. It was the thing I wanted to do, right?
Hmm.
I got my first guitar when I was 11, 12, something around there. I just got a cheap little like Sears catalog guitar
Hmm.
for
And
Christmas one
Bill,
year.
please confirm this in the comments. Please, well, I want to know if
No,
I need you to fact check all this.
I'll tell you the story. So, oh yeah, I remember that Christmas. I wanted this guitar so bad, and we like opened up all the presents, and there was no guitar there. And it was a great Christmas and stuff, but I was just so disappointed. I'm like, I wanted a guitar though, whatever.
Yeah.
And they says, hey, go check the basement. I think there might be one more gift down there for you. So I
Oh,
like,
I hate
go
that. I
down to the
hate
basement.
that bait and
And-
switch shit.
Right. And it was down there, and I absolutely lost my mind. It was so cool. But when we moved to the States, I was 12, and that's kind of when I started taking guitar lessons. So talking like maybe when I was in 7th, 8th grade, I started doing lessons.
So were you just like teaching yourself when you first got it? Like
I was just playing around with stuff.
Just noodling around.
Just noodling. Yeah, but I started taking guitar lessons maybe when I was 13, 12, 13. And then just kind of kept playing it after that. So I took lessons for probably 6 years ish. And then after that, it's just been exploring the world of music.
Do you
the
Do you still
drums,
play?
yeah, not as much as I used to, because I think I ended up just liking drums more.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guitar is, well, first of all, I have freakishly small hands. See these little
Oh
Burger
my
King hands?
gosh. Did you say Burger King?
Like the commercial where he has like the Whopper, he has the little tiny hand.
Oh my god. I completely forgot about that commercial, but yes.
Right.
Oh my god.
So
Crazy.
it's hard to do some things with these little chunky boys.
Yeah.
And,
God, no.
and then if you want to learn a song, it actually takes time to sit down, get the tabs, get the music, actually learn it. So it's more involved to do. It's fun to just play around, pick up a song here or two. But the drums are something where once you kind of get the independence of motion in all your limbs and you're just comfortable behind the kit, if you just know a song, you can replicate it on the spot. And so it's just one of the things I like to do is just spend an hour a night or something. I'll just throw on a bunch of songs that I know, and I'll just sit behind the kit and just bang along with it. But it's kind of, I don't know, because it gets your whole body in motion, so it gets your heart rate up. You kind of sweat it out. Any frustration and stuff you have for the day, you just like kind of get it all out on the kit. It's therapeutic in a way, and it's fun.
I mean, look at Travis Barker. Look at how thin he is. Of course, that makes total sense.
So
But
that's the thing I learned. Like professional drummers in an hour can burn up to like 800 calories or something playing drums.
whoa,
It's a whole thing.
whoa, that's a whole workout in and of itself.
I mean, the number. Like, I'll sit down here for an hour and I go upstairs and I'm literally drenched in sweat.
Damn.
It takes a lot.
Yeah, I can't imagine because I don't have that rhythm. I think I might be one of the only people born in the world with zero rhythm. Like I can't keep a tune. I like sometimes even like when I'm singing along to a song, I lose track and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, and I always wanted to play the saxophone, and then I think after I realized how much practice it would be, I kind of like brushed it off. But really now, I don't think I could do it. Or maybe that would have been the practice I needed to be able to keep time. But
So funny thing, the drums I never ever took lessons for. And
Really?
to be honest, I've only ever played an actual acoustic drum kit a couple of times.
yeah, because you have your electric kit.
which is great. I can play it in the house and not absolutely piss everybody off.
Yeah.
It's very flexible in that way, but I learned through Rock Band.
I swear, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Rock Band and Guitar Hero made me want to like learn how to play those things. And
Did you ever hear about my Guitar Hero days?
no, oh my god, tell me.
I entered competitions, my man.
Toast, Toast. I want you to know, I already think you're so cool. That just like you were like here, and you saying that like brought you up here. Tell me about you entering Guitar Hero tournaments. That's
The very first time I became aware of Guitar Hero, it was at a Best Buy in Heath, Ohio. and it was like Guitar Hero 1. It was like it wasn't even out yet. They had a demo of it at Best Buy,
Yeah.
and I think we were just out in town after guitar lessons, so I'd actually just got done playing actual guitar, and I saw this. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I love guitar,
And then
and I
it,
picked it up, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this, and for some reason, it never occurred to me that you have to press the button and strum at the same time. So I'm like, it's not doing anything. Anyway, that Christmas, I was so into that game. I got a bunch of money, went out like the day after Christmas. I was waiting outside as they opened the doors to Best Buy. Went in there, got that game, played through it. Um, so I played every day. I swear to God, I played the original Guitar Hero every day for like hour, 2 hours. I worked myself up to the expert level. Like Guitar Hero 2 came out, tore through that game, spent hours and hours and hours.
oh my God.
And I think it was around the time Guitar Hero 3 came out.
Guitar Hero 3 is the one that I remember the most because that
Right.
one that's the one that had Through the Fire and Flames, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Look at you, expert Guitar Hero expert ass.
well, they had Guitar Hero 2, then they had an 80s edition, which I played the hell out of.
hmm
Then they had Guitar
They had
Hero
like an
3.
AC/DC one, or they had like a Rock of Legends one.
Yeah, it got really complicated after that. Like 3, I feel like was the last good one.
Yeah.
If we can be honest. But yeah, I entered a few competitions, and it was great because there was this one asshole in high school that everybody loved, but he was such a jackass to me.
Yeah.
And everybody thought he was the coolest. He was like, "Oh, he's so good at guitar. He's so good at guitar." Blah, 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 blah.
So you came in and
I went up against him on the first round, and he's talking mad shit to me.
oh my God.
And let me tell you, wiped the floor with him, knocked him out of the competition in round 1.
Bro.
It wasn't even close.
Oh my God, that is the coolest thing.
I was putting up perfect scores. I made it to the final in that competition.
Yeah.
And for some reason it was this Japanese kid. Where the hell did he come from? I don't know. But he beat me in Through the Fire and Flames. It had to be Through the Fire and Flames.
Oh my
The
God.
thing
On
that
expert?
got- the
Was it
thing
on
that-
expert?
It was on expert. Everything was on expert.
Oh yeah, duh.
But the issue is
Tournament on
he
easy.
so like to play that whole opening sequence, you had to tap all the buttons on the neck.
Yeah.
Like you had to get the pattern down and tap it. I never learned the tapping. I never bothered for some reason.
yeah.
So I kind of just fudged my way through it, and that screwed me over.
Dude.
That being said, I'm not necessarily disappointed with myself.
Right.
But when Rock Band came out, I remember that we got that for Christmas. The whole band set up.
The whole annoying ass big plastic shit. We had that too.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Throwing that shit in
It was to
closets.
the point, like we would play, me and my two brothers, we would play for a long time.
Who was what? Who was what? You were drums.
Randy played bass, so he just picked up the bass. Billy hopped on the drums because I obviously played the guitar.
Oh,
So Billy
okay.
really could not get the drums at all. So he switched to the guitar and I filled in the drums. But then I also continued to play Rock Band. I stopped playing Guitar Hero once Rock Band came out.
Yeah.
And that's all I played. And then I literally worked my way up through the drums. Like it gets to the point where playing Rock Band drums taught me the independence of motion between the foot and the hands, or between your feet and your hands.
Yeah.
And that is kind of what built the foundation of being able to actually translate that to an actual drum set.
Dude, I fucking love that because like I swear I don't know if it was college or something after, but like I saw an article that like did the like correlation between like playing Guitar Hero and Rock Band, and it's like it made the argument, it's like why would you play the game when you could just like learn the other, and it's like, well, there's a correlation to like playing the game gives you like the same kind of like
Right.
muscle memory to actually play the instrument, and you are proof of that. That's so sick.
And the drums more so because I mean with the guitar it's like you have to
The guitar is
interact
a
with
completely
each
different.
individual string. It's not just buttons on a neck.
Yeah.
It's strings and different techniques and whatever. But with the drums, it translates very well because you're just hitting something with a stick.
Right.
And that's it. I mean, there's obviously more to it than that, but when it comes down to, I'm 1 2 1 2 1 2 on the Rock Band drum set, it's the same thing as any real drum set, except you go 1 2 1 2, same arms, same motion, same timing.
Yeah. Dude,
There you go.
I like that's so crazy. I love that. I
But
love that. Yeah, so
it got to a
take me
point though
take me
where
through your downfall.
oh yeah, so I became horribly addicted to heroin at this time.
At this point, I was entering Rock Band tournaments just to get a fix.
No, so I remember having a conversation with myself, and I'm like, imagine how good I'd be at like real drums or real guitar if I just spent as much time playing those as I did Guitar
Band.
Hero or Rock Band. And I kind of just stopped playing. But I feel like once Rock Band entered the scene, after Rock Band 2, it got weird. And
Yeah,
they started throwing in keyboards and stuff, and then Guitar Hero got really bad.
yeah. Like I remember DJ Hero, and like
Right.
one of my buddies had it, and the whole like, I thought the like peripheral was super cool, but
Right.
like the gameplay made no sense. I was like, this is
Yeah.
give me Guitar Hero 3, give me Rock Band 1,
Right.
like
I would love to go back and play Rock Band again. That would be so fun.
dude.
It would be so fun.
Yes. Yes.
Don't have any of it, so I can't. But
I wonder. I think they stopped making it,
oh yeah,
but I wonder. No, yeah, you could probably buy those like the drum kits and all that at like.
I'm sure.
Maybe.
But
not
I don't
GameStop.
have the PlayStation. I don't have whatever, so
Yeah.
I'll just play the actual drums instead.
Yeah, you could do the actual cool thing and
Right.
play your electronic drum kit.
I could play the guitar the days the drums, and I could record music any day of the week.
Speaking of,
Yes.
dude, I'm so excited. I keep
It's
saying
so-
I say this every single time we talk, but I'm
Can I tease it a little bit?
yes, please, because it's been a work in progress. So how has the extra time come through?
I haven't worked on it.
That's totally cool because you know
Um,
what? I haven't even outlined my video. I have the
Right.
seed of an idea, and I'm like, I'm gonna sit down one of these days and I'm gonna write it down. Nothing.
It won't be too bad because like all the music's recorded and I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
The lyrics are written and I'm happy with it. Like the lyrics wrote themselves. It is Grammy award winning level. I am so hyped. I have to sing it, so I got to record it still. And then I did a lot of the shooting for the video side.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to do a little bit more, and I think some of it I had a cool vision, but it just didn't pan out the way I was hoping. So I
Right.
need to kind of go back, shoot a few things, and then just stitch it
Pickups.
all together. So it's not too much. Like it will take time,
Mm-hmm.
but it's getting pretty darn close.
Dude.
And I will tease a little bit. Do I give the name of the song or the band? Or did I just tell you what song I'm covering?
No, tell me what song you're covering.
I don't know if you've heard of this band. And this is actually the most recorded band that the Mountain Dew Men have done. This will be the third song by this band. Like I think second to that, I can't remember. Like we might have done another band twice, but
Yeah.
this one will be the third song by this band. Creed.
Creed. Okay. Okay.
It's if you think about it, it's the perfect thing because first of all, Creed sucks in a pretty alarming way. Every song is the same. They're all incredibly simple, which makes it very easy to do in
To
a
copy.
relatively quick time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Their lead singer, Scott Stapp, is an embarrassment of a human being, which is just like, chef's kiss. So it's just like cringe as all hell. And
Hell yes.
I watched the actual music video for My Sacrifice.
My Sacrifice. Okay.
And I'm just going to drop the name of the new single. My Sacrifice turns to Do is my life.
Do is my life. Well, we have less than a minute, and I got a gem. My questions for Friday are going to be we're honing in on this. So
Oh hell yeah! Also, this lighting equipment is coming with me for Friday, so
hell yeah, bro! It's gonna cut us out. So can't wait to see you then. Peace, bro.
see
Oh
ya.
my god, this is gonna be so good. Oh my god.
Can't wait.